On the loop that runs around the lake, there was an old iron bridge. There was a bent rail, so the engines had to go slowly across it. One day, Peter, Sam, and Rusty brought a train of old trucks full of old slate across it. The loads were very heavy, so Rusty helped Peter Sam around a difficult bend and up a hill to the water tower. Once there, he tooted goodbye and left. Peter Sam felt much better after his drink, but the trucks were very bored.
"You know what?"
said one.
"Let's break away." "Yes, yes,"
replied the others, and they jerked at an old coupling which broke. They began to roll away and gain speed. "Oh no! Come on, driver! After them!" But it was no use. The trucks passed the sign telling engines to go slowly on the bridge, but of course they didn't stop. Then, as they rolled across the bridge, the front truck derailed, and the rest swooped off the bridge like a snake into the ravine below. Peter Sam arrived too late. "Bother!" he grumbled. The driver looked down in disbelief. "Well, we should have secured them more properly. We'll have to get help to pull them out. The Thin Controller won't be happy." And he was right. "Needless to say, you should have checked the coupling. You should practice more with the trucks in the yard before you take them out again. Rheneas can take over." Peter Sam felt very silly, and Duncan thought it a great joke. "Ha! Fancy not securing your trucks on the hill. They'll come back to spook you in that special funnel of yours." "Woo!" Rusty was cross. "And who's to say that you're not afraid of ghosts?" he snapped. "Pah! Ghosts!" retorted Duncan. "Things that go bump in the night? Rubbish!" "Oh, then I'll tell you a story I heard recently, and it might just make your funnel quiver." And the little diesel did. A long time ago, a little engine was returning home. It was a misty, moonlit night. No one knows what happened, but as the engine crossed the old iron bridge, he suddenly derailed and plunged over the side into the swamps below. He was never found again, but many workmen will tell you that when the moon is full, they have seen the little engine trying to get home, but he never reaches the other side. "So what do you think of that, Duncan?" "Pah! Nonsense!" replied Duncan, and he puffed away. "Never mind him, Peter Sam," said Rusty. "He'd be frightened if he really saw a ghost." "Was that a true story?" asked Peter Sam. "Of course not," laughed Rusty. "I completely made it up. Though I wish it was real, so we could teach Duncan a lesson." Peter Sam suddenly got an idea. "It's full moon tomorrow night. Let's play a trick on Duncan and see how he likes it." "Yes, of course," laughed the driver. "I'll tell Duncan's driver tomorrow." He did so, and Duncan's driver and fireman fully agreed. Tonight it shall be. Duncan had to take coal trucks to the slate mines and then bring slate trucks back. His driver decided as part of the plan to cross the old iron bridge. Duncan didn't see anything scary about it. "Haunted bridge? Pah!" snorted Duncan. "It's as tame as a pet rabbit." But all the same, there was something eerie about Rusty's story, and he couldn't get it out of his mind. When dusk fell, he was keen to leave. "Come on! If we don't go now, Scar Louie will take my favorite place in the sheds." "We can't go back until we've collected all the trucks," his driver replied. He could see their plan was working because Duncan looked nervous. When night fell, they set off. The moon was full, and the mists were rising around the old iron bridge. Duncan whistled, and the sound echoed everywhere. Suddenly, he stopped. Ahead, he could see some shiny specks moving in the distance. His driver knew they were only fireflies, but to Duncan, they looked like sparks from an engine's funnel. Then, his driver dropped a rock from the cab into the ravine below. Duncan was terrified. "Get me out of here, please!" and he rocketed away like a rabbit. When Duncan reached the safety of his shed, he closed his eyes tightly. "Spooked, are you, Duncan?" laughed his driver. "No!" wailed Duncan. "I'm asleep!" And he refused to open his eyes. He did, though, when he heard laughter from behind him. He looked back to see Rusty, Peter, Sam, and Skarloey all laughing. Peter Sam's plan had worked.